The people of Pakistan love life, and music is woven in the very fabric of Pakistani character. Life is set to music, as it were. The warrior steps out to a martial tune. The fisherman sings at sea. The bride sets off on the sad notes of Babul. The believers go into a trance listening to Qawwali. The festivals of sowing and harvest, the seasons, the days of mourning, and the days of joy all have their own music. Classical music does not enjoy popularity today, and I believe this is because people feel they cannot identify themselves with classical music as they do with other forms which reflect their life and livelihood. Classical music seems to belong to an extinct age of kings sitting on gem studded thrones surrounded by human gems of high intellectual caliber who could praise all the ah ah and ooh ooh of the ragas. To simple people, this is all potato. Yet, the roots of classical music lie deep in ordinary life. The basis of classical forms are folk tunes. Malkai Pukhraj, the exponent of the Pahari raga, once said that she had learnt her first lesson from the ordinary people of Kashmir who sang the folk tune of Pahari. The tune was simple, and the words of their song reflected the longing of the women waiting for the return of their men. The classical Pahari, on the other hand, is a purification of the same folk tune and reflects the same mood of longing. The history of the remaining 31 ragas is identical. Rag Basant celebrates spring, Megh celebrates the monsoon, Kaul is religious in color, and so on. The total gamut of human emotions is encompassed in the ragas and the raginis. Raginis are mixtures derived from an aesthetic blending of one or more ragas. The ragas then are as natural as life. Most people believe that you have to learn your musical grammar before you are qualified to appreciate the classics. But this is not a must. In a treatise on music prepared in the reign of Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan, there is an apt explanation. Sound which is not pleasing to the ear has no right to call itself music. Classical music, if it pleases your ear, has served its function of giving you high aesthetic enjoyment. Indeed, there is a lot of abuse of classical music by its exponents. They do go in for a lot of vocal acrobatics in order to impress the more learned members of the audience and have caused all this confusion. This is one reason why there is so much of that ah ah, ooh ooh, and ee which sounds like somebody was trying to strangle the singer. We also have a lot of childish display by the half baked classical exponents who hold one note for a long time and the public claps in admiration of their excellent lung power instead of their musical expertise. But the novice listener should not be afraid of these show offs. Many believe that classical music is an acquired taste, that it is some alien species of music created with the express purpose of endowing instrumentalists and vocalists with the high sounding title of Ustad. When such ustads appear in a mehfil, people hasten with requests of ghazals or at best thumris, semi-classical and light classical respectively, so that they may be spared the ordeal of the ragas. Knowing something about the structure of a raga helps you in a fuller appreciation of classical music, but not knowing this only means that you will enjoy the music less. It certainly does not mean that you cannot or will not enjoy it at all. The structure of the raga, or in other words, its grammar, is only one aspect, and in my mind, the only one where a novice would have trouble. The rest of its qualities can be understood and appreciated by one and all. The emotions expressed in the ragas, the atmosphere they create, are as universal as joy and sorrow. There are some moods of the music which a foreigner may take some time in appreciating, but a child of the subcontinent would immediately identify. Take the ragas of the monsoon, Megh Malhar. Their imagery is of huge grey rain laden clouds, then the thunder and lightning, and the first relief giving shower of rain, the birth of new life, and the upsurge of human longing for the beloved. It rains in other parts of the world, but the atmosphere created by the monsoon season and the feelings it gives birth belong to us. You certainly do not have to be of royal stock to love classical music. Our classic is the Adam of music, father of every geet, ghazal, thumri, dadra, or film song, and like Adam, it was created from dust. It is the music of the masses. It was born from the song that people sang and still sing. It was nurtured in humble homes of singers and musicians, and to quote the words of the doyen of the Patiala Gharana, Bade Ghulam Ali Khan, my music and I cannot survive without an audience. This great art is live in the true sense of the word. Ink and scored paper are not the means of elucidating a raga. The ragas were never composed. Pioneers in the development of music towards its classical form, like Amir Khusro and Mia Tansen, did not compose the qawl or Mia ki malhar. They took the folk tunes, broke away the crude shell, and presented the kernel. This article is written for the benefit of the novice listener of classical music, and so far I have tried to explain why there is no need to be afraid or awe inspired. Another question that novices often ask is how they should set up this course. Do what the ustads do. They never launch a student on the grammar of music. They do not start by teaching the sargam directly. Rather, they teach the rudiments of a raga, usually Aman, which is called Sadabahar because it covers all the notes of the musical scale, and in the most beautiful of forms. You too can learn at the feet of an ustad, as records and tapes are available of all the great vocalists and instrumentalists of our time. Listen to the vocalists, the instrumentalists, and to all the ragas in their pure form, light classical and semi classical form. There will always be some particular singer or musician that you like more, or some particular raga with which you will fall passionately in love. Pakistan is exceptionally fortunate in being the home of two great singers of the past, Ustad Abdul Karim Khan of the Kirana School and Bade Ghulam Ali Khan of the Patiala School. We are also extremely fortunate to have amongst us the Malka-e-Musiqi, Roshan Begum of the Kirana School, the acknowledged queen of music through India, Pakistan and Afghanistan. Before audio tapes were invented, listening to classical music was an expensive hobby. As the tapes are reusable, it is now possible to pursue the hobby at comparatively less cost. In fact, it becomes quite cheap as you can re-record a new piece instead of having to buy a new record. And once you are enchanted by the sound of the ragas, there is absolutely no coming back. In youth and in old age, the enchantment will keep its hold and never leave you, for the home of great music is the human soul.